Hey everyone, Landon here from Lando 27 Music. I'm going to do kind of a different video today. It's not going to be with the green screen and the effects, and it's not going to be a demo or a review of a pedal or anything like that. It's actually going to be about this room that I play in, that I record my videos, and it's my jam room. But it's basically a soundproof room that keeps the sound of a guitar inside the room. So I've heard a lot of people over the years talk about using eggshell cartons and carpeting and stuff like that, and they put that on the walls to keep the sound in. And from what I know, that doesn't work at all. That's I think people get confused between soundproofing and acoustic treatment. So what I've done here, I'm going to walk through the room and actually take a look at all the materials I've used and how I put it all together, and then I'll actually do a sound demo of something going on in here. I'm just going to set up some loud guitar on a looper, and you're going to hear the difference between inside the room and outside the room. Hopefully you can see that it is actually soundproofed. Getting back to the acoustic treatment, so when I built the room, originally I didn't have these panels. These are foam, I believe they're called, I can't actually remember the name. They're acoustic panels. Basically they're foam triangles, and they deaden the sound waves in the room. So I found when I built the room, it kept the sound in so well, but the sound was bouncing around off the drywall. And by the time I was done jamming for a few hours, it kind of, my ears were ringing, and it just didn't sound good. There was too much reverberation in the room. So anyways, I found that helped. I'll do a walkthrough and show all the panels I have. I could definitely add some more. There's some empty spots, but they're not cheap, so it can cost you a lot of money. So I did do some research, and I was lucky enough that when we moved into this house, we had an empty basement, and I was able to design the whole music room. And so it's an 8x12 room. It's not huge. It's good for one or two guys, and there's no sound. There's no duct work. There's no air coming in or out, and which isn't a problem in cooler weather, but in the summertime when it does get hot up here in Ottawa, it becomes a little sauna in here. So I can play for an hour at a time, then you got to take a break. Yeah, let me just switch over and we'll take a walkthrough of the room and you can see everything. All right, so let's get going here. So I've got a second camera that I'm gonna have outside the room. So here is my jam room. There's Jimmy on the wall there. Okay, so I didn't really explain this before, but it's actually a room inside a room. I'll explain that more in a second. The doors are solid core doors. You can hear the difference between that versus a regular door. Those are hollow. So that's key. Around the inside is weather stripping. It's like a foam that you find basically on any exterior door, and it keeps the sound in, keeps the air tight as well. And I can't remember what these are called, but that's also a part of weather stripping. So this is basically exterior door materials. So you've got a room inside a room. It's actually an air gap in here. Okay, so we're gonna go inside here. I'm gonna close the first door. And we got the second door, which has the same weather stripping on it. Okay. So you might be wondering about the ceiling. I'll post, I'm actually gonna link a slideshow or a photo album of all the materials and when I was doing the construction. So the ceiling, the walls, they're all double drywall, and the ceiling is actually suspended slightly. It's not, it's called decoupling. It's not attached to the joists in the ceiling. So it's kind of a floating ceiling, but it doesn't move. It's, you'll understand a bit more if you see the pictures. So you can see the acoustic treatment I've done is these panels on the wall. I think I've got about 20, and I could definitely use some more right there, some more right there. basically I've got most of the room covered, and it does a fairly good job. So my only weak point in this whole room is this window. It's an exterior window going out. If there is any sound leaking out of this room, it's going outside. Nothing in the house, which is pretty impressive. So I can be playing guitar at night and nobody's hearing it. So I mentioned the drywall. It's double drywall with a material between the layers called green glue. And I'll post a link for that as well. Basically, it's messy putty type stuff that you squirt on between the drywall layers, and it says that it absorbs sound waves and turns it into heat, which sounds like magic, and it kind of is. So there's that. There's also all the corners between all the drywall has an acoustic seal, which is another product made by Green Glue. It's basically a putty. You can kind of see it here. It never dries, so it creates a bond. And then when I was doing the doors here, one key to actually test for your soundproofing was to close the door and have a light on behind it. And if you saw any light coming through, that's an air leak, and that's a sound leak. Can't see it here, but you will see it in the pictures. Behind the drywall is insulation called Roxol Safe and Sound, and it's soundproofing insulation. So insulation, double layer drywall with green glue, and hanging ceiling. Floor is not decoupled, so the floor is actually attached. All right. Okay, so I'm going to enable what I've got here. One door. And the second door. So if you can pick up anything right now, it's usually the lower frequencies. The bass is almost impossible to completely block out, but from down here you can be in the room around here, anywhere around here, and you're not going to hear it that much, and it's pretty loud in there. It's just another quick, it sounds like when I open it. All right. So, I think I've covered everything about the room. Like I mentioned, I'll list all the parts. I'll list all the, I'll have a slide, not a slideshow, I keep calling it a slideshow. Photo album when I was doing the room, the construction. I want to mention again, this is definitely for guitar. Like if I do play loud music with thumping bass, the bass, you can still hear it through. It's almost impossible to completely knock out those frequencies. It's mainly the high frequencies like a guitar. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, any comments, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video if you like what you saw. I could do more of these types of videos. Sort of a demo / do-it-yourself, how-to sort of thing. Landon here from Lando 27 Music. Take care and we'll see you again. Bye.